All right, again, we give God the glory today. Another great opportunity for our football team to get ready for a great weekend. It's exciting because it's homecoming week. I know we're going to have a lot of great fans coming into town and giving us great support, and alumni and former players, and going to have a great environment, great atmosphere, and just reach out to our fans. We know we got the best fans in the country. I know our student section has been outstanding in the past, and I know they're going to be outstanding again here in the future. So challenge everybody to bring one more friend to the game in this opportunity against Richmond here in our in-state rival. A little bit about last week's game. I think the positive out of it was our special teams. We won 5 out of the 6 phases, so that was some improvement, which we've been working on very, very hard here in these last 4 or 5 ball games here to continue to improve in special teams. So we made good progress there. Other thing here I add as a positive is Nick Falau has been reinstated into our football team, and he is fully reinstated and active to play this week. Get right into Richmond. Danny Rocco, as everybody here at Liberty is familiar with, used to be a coach here and had success here, has had success there at Richmond, has done a very, very good job as a coach. He's been known well around the country as doing a good job. His offense is very, very good. They're top in the nation in a lot of categories, total offense, passing yards, and so on. Their defense is an even front. They have changed a little bit of a different scheme. They were even front last year, but they have a little bit of difference of a setup as what they've done in the past. Their special teams are solid in every phase. The interesting couple things that I've looked at, that they've only punted 9 times. So that means obviously their offense has been very, very efficient. It's not necessarily scoring points, but they also have been moving the football and have done very well as far as staying on the football field. The other point here, I guess from our side of it, is a positive. They've had 13 turnovers on the offensive side of the ball, 9 fumbles and 4 interceptions. They've only, on the defensive side, they've only been able to get 3 takeaways. So, again, they're a well-coached football team, have done a very good job, and I know they're going to come in here and be ready to play. Injuries, Jimmy O'Grady is out, upper body. Nick Sigmund is out, upper body. Todd Macon is out, lower leg, and Josh Smith is out for the season, lower leg. Keys to the victory, we must win the turnover margin. I think it's pretty, looking back even this season, when we've done well in the turnover margin, we won the football game. You even look back in the past seasons. Again, ain't 100%, but turnover margin we win. Great chance that we're going to win the football game. Win third down conversions. We must win on that side of it. That kind of goes in hand a little bit with a first down. But truly here in the third down conversions, they have done extremely well. They were well over 60%, 64, 65%. And we're not quite as well as that. In particular, in our last ball game, we're only 1 out of 11. So there's some improvement we need to have there. Win the special teams. That's going to be another great phase that we must continue to improve. We must continue to win that phase to give us the best chance to be successful. Open up to some questions.
You mentioned the injuries, Macon, Sigmund, O'Grady. Are there any of those that you anticipate being long-term?
Josh Smith is out for the season for sure. The other 3 guys, it could be, I don't know if it's week to week, but there's a chance that they could come back before the season is over with.
What did you think about the linebacker rotation after those 2 guys went out, and what is somebody like Dexter Robbins or that hasn't played a whole lot, what does he bring to you guys?
Dexter, I guess in particular, I think he's a guy who's been very instrumental on our special teams, has done a great job. He has good speed, good toughness. He has been involved in our special teams throughout the 2 years. I guess a year and a half now that he's been involved in our team. He's tough and he can run. I think that's his biggest asset. Lou Ellen's done well for our whole football season. Nick Newman has done a great job in our last ball game. He ended up getting his most reps. Miles Hunter will be involved in the linebacker position. We got Andrew Yock. You got Bobby Patilla. So we have enough people in the linebacker core to play a lot of football and be pretty good in what we need to get done. Again, they're now going to play a little bit of a different role, a little different position, but we kind of been taught the whole linebacker position. They somewhat understand the whole concept, whether they're playing, as we get into the terms, of a Sam backer, Mike backer, Will backer, and all that. They're somewhat learned all three linebacker positions when they first got here. So, there's a change, but it's not as big of a change as it might seem.
Get a chance to look at the tape now. Can you just kind of evaluate Woodrum's overall performance from Saturday?
Oh, if I compare it to, I guess, our first 5 ball games, this was maybe not quite up to par as we would want it to be. So I think it was, okay. Is probably the best way to describe it. I'm not saying he played a horrible game or he didn't play a great game, but it was just okay. And okay is not good enough. We expected him to do a lot of greater things for us, and each and every year is now a 3-year starter. So that was kind of the assessment.
When you went back and looked at the film, you said Saturday that you thought you guys were over physical, I guess, on the offensive line. Do you kind of feel the same way when watching the film?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't win the battle. I ain't gonna say they totally dominated us, but we didn't. They didn't. We didn't dominate the line of scrimmage from the standpoint of getting positive yards in the running game. So they neutralized that. Again, I say they dominated because the whole ball game we didn't get anything done. There wasn't like a whole lot of plays they were penetrating in the backfield per se, but we just did not knock them off the ball and give us some positive opportunities. So give credit to them, but I think it's more about us that we got to do a better job as far as our offensive line to control the line of scrimmage for the most part on all of our opponents.
Coach, how does Richmond's passing attack compare to Indiana State?
There's some similarities. There's some differences. And I say similarities is they got a good little short passing game, meaning they get the ball out quick. They have certain things that they have in their game where they got one read and the ball's out. And another aspect of it is they have a lot more motion. They do a lot more shifts, and they do a lot more movement for a pre-snap read for the defense. So that's the difference of it all.
You guys made some pretty good defensive adjustments at halftime to slow them down. I mean, is it something, just asking really, can you make adjustments mid-game or mid-half? Is that something that has to happen at halftime, or did you wish that maybe that some of the things were adjusted earlier on in the second quarter?
Well, it can happen anytime, no question about that. As far as your adjustment, I think there's always adjustments. Really, I would say after each series, there's always some discussion. There's always talk. What are they doing? What are you seeing? Do we make adjustments? Is it scheme we make adjustment? Is it personnel? So there's always a discussion, and there's always some adjustments being made on every series. Obviously, sometimes it does happen quicker than others, and sometimes it doesn't.
Trey Turner had a little bit of a tough game here against Bryant, fumbling the snap and everything, but came back, punted really well for you on Saturday. What have you seen out of him in the first couple of weeks that you really like?
Well, I'll go back in the Bryant game. It was actually our snapper. Had a bad snap more than Trey Turner. Didn't handle the snap. But I think he's improved in every ball game, just like we've asked our guys to do. And I'm proud of what Trey has done. He's kicked the ball. Again, we talk about distance, we talk about hang time, and we talk about location. I grade them every day in the snap and in practice. We grade them every day in a game on really those 2 or 3 things that we talk about. Again, the hang time, the location of it is so very, very important to give us an advantage. That's always, again, anybody can score a touchdown on any great play and all those things, but we're trying to give us the best opportunity to be successful. And so, again, he's been steady. We've emphasized we'd rather have a lot more hang time than we would like to have distance. So don't get caught up in I know psychologically you say, well, I want to kick a 60-yard punt, and that's fine. But we'll minimize to have a 45-yard punt, and you got a 4.5 hang time. We'll take that any day over that. So he's been very, very good, and hopefully continues that here for the rest of the season.
Coach, what are your keys to getting off the field on third down against Richmond, and what have other defenses not been able to do against the Spiders to keep them on the field?
Well, I think they made some plays. Our receivers have made some great catches. Quarterback has done a great job of taking hits, getting the ball off. Again, they do a lot of getting the ball out quick, 3-step drop, or moving the pocket, buying more time. Sometimes he buys more time on himself of being able to move his feet and get out of the pocket and extend the plays. So they've done a good job, and they got good schemes as far as what they do offensively. And you just got to put pressure on him, make him uncomfortable. And we got to do a better job of covering people. Again, I am say we haven't done a bad job of really covering our people, even on the third down. I think we got to start on the first down part of it, is making them have a long distance to go.
The main adjustments you guys were able to make in the second half against Indiana State, and what can you take away from that game that you apply to this one?
Well, I think the adjustment we made is our guys understood a little bit more what they were doing. We had more people in the right place. We did a little bit, maybe a few more pressures as far as a 5-man pressure, a little bit of a 6-man pressure as far as bringing a little bit more pressure on the quarterback and making a little bit uncomfortable. Then I thought we covered them a little bit well. So you make all those different adjustments, and I think it was a good thing that we did that, and it kept us in the ball game. We had a chance to win the ball game. So defense made the adjustment. The offense didn't quite make that adjustment.
I guess in the same vein as the third down defense, your red zone defense was kind of a strength last year. It's struggled pretty mightily this year. What do you guys have to do to improve those numbers?
Oh, I think it's a mental approach, somewhat of always having a little bit more intense when the ball is inside the 20-yard line. Again, everybody's playing hard, but there's always going to be a little bit more emphasis internally as far as in their own body makeup. Well, they're down here, and they're probably gonna score. You got to have a mentality, and so our coaches have emphasized that. I think that we will improve in that area. And whenever they may make a long run, it doesn't mean that they're going to score. So you got to make sure we make some calls, but also our players got to have a mentality. So I think we'll improve on that. I don't see that's going to continue to be a concern. You want to hold them to field goals. We want them holding the field goal. If you ain't got a chance to hold them for field goals, you got a greater chance to win football games.
You have to get Woodrum back on some more of those option runs here this week, or was it just not available against Indiana State, or just kind of elaborate on that?
Oh, we always have it available. You make decisions, you make calls, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But again, we always have those in the repertoire. And again, you can always look in hindsight and say you should have done this, should have done that. But we're always going to have it available, and we'll make the best calls we can make each and every game.
With Todd out, obviously, does that elevate Austin now to number 2? And behind that, at tailback, who else would you consider playing if something should happen on Saturday?
Turner Gill. That's what we got left. You don't want me out there, though. He'll be our backup to DJ Abnar, and Carrington Mosley, I guess, will be the next guys we're going to bring up and get some reps for as that goes. And, again, he hadn't had a whole lot of reps running our offense, but we got 3 running backs, and we'll make do what we need to do. And if he has to be called upon, then he'll be ready to play.
You guys are far enough removed now from Danny being here to where I know last year with some of the players that had played for him and were recruited by him, it was kind of a big deal playing against him. But has that kind of passed? Was that something that went on last year that might have passed at this point?
I guess you'd probably have to ask them to a certain extent personally. Again, we respect him. Obviously, he did a good job here, and it's about now playing here at Liberty and doing our scheme and all those kind of things. So I don't think that's really even a factor as far as our guys are getting all excited or whatever to play against him. It's playing against Richmond, their football team, and we're just trying to get better as a football team. And I know that's how our guys will be focused this week.